Well, it's that time of year again. You can see Declan already getting excited in the background because by the time of this recording, we're actually getting ready to head into the holiday season, which always means New Year's resolutions and intentions. So tonight, Denise and myself thought about talking to you about how animals can truly play a vital role in helping us actually keep those intentions that we set through the year. Because there's a huge difference in keeping them year round or kind of losing them in the first 2 weeks, like it so often happens.
Some of that is just language too. I don't set New Year's resolutions, but I love the idea of having intentions for how I want to live my life. And my animals definitely help me with that. They are my inspiration and my cheerleaders. And that's something that I've learned from working with so many different clients is that the animals are often encouraging their people and they're saying, I know you're dealing with this or that, and they really want us to succeed. And the other thing is that when we're taking care of ourselves, we're better able to take care of our pets. So sometimes that is a lesson in itself that we need to take care of ourselves and our pets need to take care of themselves. So, Mary Beth, what do you think is the most important thing when you're starting to think about intentions or resolutions?
You hit the nail on the head. Is first of all, what are we even calling it? Because what you call it is also how you're approaching it and how you're even setting up the whole thing. I hate resolutions, and it took me a long time to kind of understand the difference and also understand why so many people, including myself, I hate to use the word fail, but don't, reach their intentions. And that's just how the approach is. To me, an intention is a goal. There's so much more of a manifestation quality, a bringing in, a celebratory, or like an inviting in connotation to it. Whereas resolution just is almost like you're punishing yourself. You're like, oh, I suck at this. I need to be better at this. Oh, this. And like you said, our animals are constantly there cheerleading us on and can be the inspiration on what do we want to bring in? What do we want to invite in? So kind of even approaching it with that positive attitude on what can we do to enhance our life? What can we do to make this next step forward that much better? For each other. And I think that's the biggest thing is just kind of setting New Year's intentions versus resolutions. And then, like you said, even just having a connection with your animal and kind of taking them into account, what, like almost stepping into their shoes, if you will. Like I love how Declan was playing in the background when we started this video, because even though he's not my animal per se, he's my little nephew, if you will. But joy is something that I've been asked to bring in by so many different animals. So kind of just watching them, you can kind of really be inspired. What do you think, Denise?
He heard us. He
heard us. He's like, oh yeah, I'm in this video.
Yes. Well, what I was thinking of when you said that, Mary Beth, is the why behind it. Because just like you said, so many people start diets or fitness routines, and it's almost like that's something you should do. That's what a resolution is for. That's what our society tells us you should be doing. So really, why do you want to set these goals? And I think that's going to be much more important. Most people probably don't care if they lose a couple pounds or something, right? I know our animals don't care about that. They want us to be healthy, but if that is the goal, then yeah, you're not as likely to keep doing that. So for me, the why behind things are, I want to be a more positive person. I want to put more love out into the world. I want to grow and be able to take care of my animals in a better way. So that means so much more than some of these goals that, we think that we should have.
Like you said, the shoulding. One of my favorite quotes that I've heard is stop shoulding all over yourself, because it's not, and you're not helping yourself or your animal. And so, like you said, we're kind of setting ourselves up to to not succeed at it. Because the other thing, like you said, is the meaning behind the goals, meaning behind the intention. And again, that's where our animals come into play. Even something like fitness, which we'll talk about at the end, because that's one of my personal goals this year. Why is that a goal? Like you said, lose 5 pounds. Okay, great. What's that going to do for you? But kind of getting out, walking more, kind of doing activities with your animals can be, just have that what's your why, and can have that so much more of a meaning, because not only is it, okay, I'm exercising more, but I'm deepening my bond with my animal. And it kind of brings us back to what we were talking about, is how they can help us. Because something like fitness, it's very clear if you have dogs or even a cat, how they can help us, because they're going to help, by incorporating them into your intentions for the year, whether it's taking the dog for a walk, whether it's playing with the cat around the house, you're going to be doing it because you're going to make it fun, and you're going to have your kind of accountability partner, if you will.
Mm-hmm. And I went to an animal communicator to talk to my babies last summer when they weren't doing well, and Declan was sick, and what he said was, I need you to take care of yourself, because I was so worried about him. I was, not eating properly, not sleeping enough, and that doesn't help him at all. And so it was really just a lot of wisdom from him to share that I need to take care of myself. And he said he is also taking care of himself, and so we need to give our animals some freedom to be able to do that, because I do hover over him as well. When he was sick, every second of the day,
I remember that. Okay. I remember that.
Yes. So that was just a really great example that he was like, you need to take care of you, give me some space. And so just considering them, just asking their opinion, and having them be involved in it. And that's what I needed to do at the time too. And so I'm taking that as inspiration to take better care of myself.
Yeah, so true. Because so often, I can't tell you how many different clients I've spoken to, and even my own animals I've seen, is they mirror us, and they want to show us, things that can be better. So yeah, exactly. Taking the inspiration from our animal is going to be so key. And also a great way to help us identify changes, that need to happen. So if you're kind of stuck with, I don't know exactly what can be happening, kind of consult with them, or kind of see, what do you want to see better for them? And a lot of times it's to be looking in the mirror, and, you can kind of see what you want, what will greatly help them. Is it changing you?
So I love the idea of just asking them to be involved, because even if you're just trying to decide what, or starting to think about what you want to do, meditating with them is great. Our animals love to meditate with us. They love to be in a calm, comfortable, sweet space. And so that is one way that you can start, is just spending that quality, kind of quiet time with them, and maybe grounding a little bit.
Hint, hint, a great intention if you don't already do it. Yes. This is one of those pop-up videos. I see one of those, I'm aging myself, but like a pop-up that'll say great intention idea.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're not already doing it.
Yeah. Grounding every day, spending some time grounding is a great idea.
Yeah. And also, if you don't know how to communicate, or, kind of connect with your animals, or get clear information, kind of go back to our video too, and that'll show some other ideas, because you may want to even just connect with your animal. And so go back to that video, and it'll show you a couple of great ideas. Because I think not only can they help us identify the changes, they're also going to cheer us along. And no matter what your goal is or what your intention is, I do think I'm a firm believer in a strong person. Strong animal is what makes a strong partnership. So they want to see you succeed with it too. So it may feel silly, but say your intention out loud with your animal, or when you're writing your list, kind of do it with your animal involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let them be part of it. They love helping. They love being involved with all of those things. And another way that you can kind of incorporate your pet's activity is that when you reward them, you can reward yourself. And I think our pets would also love this for us, that we give ourselves rewards. And that's something to think about when you're doing this. Like, what would that milestone be? What would it look
Yes.
like at that point when you can get a reward? So that's something that you think about with goals, like having it be measurable. But this is just a more fun way, I think, of looking at it as when would you get a reward, and what might that be, and what might your animal want for you?
Yes. And also, I think it's so important to celebrate small wins, small victories, and even attempts is so important. When we're training an animal or, any trick, you celebrate the effort. And I think that's so important in yourself too, is celebrate the effort. And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about with intentions and resolutions. So many times I see resolutions as just all or nothing, either you are or you're not. Whereas intentions is kind of, it's a lot more leeway. It's a lot more, maybe not leeway, but a lot more gentle with yourself. Because one of the big things I think that'll help you succeed is what's called the law of assumption. Is you're kind of already assuming. And with an intention, you're able to already assume the goal. So let's say we'll kind of go back to the 5 pounds, even though 5 pounds doesn't always mean much, but on your journey, it may mean a lot. So you're already kind of imagining, and you can do this in the meditation with your animal, is what would my life look like when I lost that 5 pounds, or when we're walking regularly, or whatever that intention is. You imagine what that looks like and you live that time now. Who is that person who's walking 3 days a week? What do they do? What kind of choices do they make? Because that actually helps you set up to succeed too at the beginning, is already being that person. You're less likely to sleep through that alarm clock, in my opinion, because if you ask yourself, who is that runner? Who is that? I don't know. Give me some ideas, Denise. What are some other intentions?
Oh, that meditator,
Yes.
that person that meditates every day, what do they feel like? What does it feel like to be them? Or how can you embody that? And
Exactly.
and so you kind of want to feel what it would feel like when you are already doing that thing.
Yeah, because you're less likely to turn on that Netflix or, some other things, or sit down with that, extra calories, or just ignore your animal when if you're already embodying. I'm the meditator who makes time for my animal, and we sit down for 5-10 minutes every night. You're that person. That person doesn't just sit down and watch TV all night. So it helps you make those decisions, which will get you to your intention a lot faster and a lot more realistic, I think, too.
It's almost kind of that fake it if you make, or fake it until you make it, where you're
Exactly.
feeling what it feels like until you really become who that person is. Um, and I feel like these are kind of lofty goals sometimes, but they don't have to be anything big. Like I said, a lot of my intentions are just that I want to, um, put more positive energy out into the world. And maybe I can talk about that a little bit now. That
Yes,
so what
yes.
I'm working on, and what some of my resolutions are going to be, improving my spiritual practice, because I have gotten away from meditating every day. Sometimes I don't necessarily do that, or I'm kind of speeding through that. And so my goal is to work on being more present. And I want to be someone who's in the moment, and who is able to let go of things easily. And so I'm trying to embody that, which it's not a big thing. It's more
The
about
lofty
how
ones. Yeah, it's
uh,
difficult.
yeah, but I feel like it's more about how I live my life each day, rather than really changing anything. But I know my cats will love that. They will appreciate
Mhm.
meditating with me every day, and appreciate the calm energy in our home. And so that's another thing I've been working on, is doing some clearing. of our space. And I can do that every day. I don't do it every day now, but that's part of my goal. And so, just looking at them, telling them they can hold me accountable, but also I want that positive energy for them as well. So they keep me motivated to do that because it's not just for me. So what are you
Yeah.
working on, Mary Beth?
Yeah, I'll kind of go into that too, but I wanted to just comment, Denise, because I think the other thing, like you hit the nail on the head, is that what the reward is for them, but also how they can help you get there. I think that's such an amazing goal or an intention. And I wouldn't be surprised if Declan kind of forces you to sit down a couple of times and almost reminds you of those intentions. You may find him purring on your lap, or you may kind of find like needing a little bit more of that intention. And I think it's important to remind people is don't get angry with that. Kind of think outside the box, if you will. Okay, why is he demanding a little bit more of this quiet time? And if you see your intention where you post, it's like, oh, wait, I asked for more stillness. I asked, for more of that connection. And so
you'll get what you asked for, whether you realize it or not.
Exactly. And your animals will be all about it because, again, like you said, the end result will totally help them too and their environment. So kind of post, especially on those stressful days. Why is he wanting to sit down and chill? Why is he wanting, this right now? Be like, oh, because I'm asking for it. So post your intentions is what I definitely encourage. And speaking of asking, one of my goals, my rescue thoroughbred, he's off the track. He's got some physical issues too, but he's been asking me to go out on trail rides. I have not been riding for a while. I have two kids, a Tennessee Walker, and especially my thoroughbred, who've been wanting to do more riding. My other two like time on the ground, but these guys are wanting me getting moving, more and actually going on trail rides. So I want to honor him and kind of ride this year. So we've got to go through some physical therapy for, both of us. I'm going to train myself into him and kind of just get back in the saddle is my goal. And part of that is also a fitness goal. So it's not only to be strong enough to do better with the riding, but also my two dogs are definitely getting older. My one of my pitties, Toby, is getting some arthritis, and his brother is just had surgery 8 weeks ago, and so kind of getting them back out and getting them moving is such a big important factor for me. I know there's only so much they can do, but kind of just moving, and it's also a huge reminder of myself. Unfortunately, I'm not getting any younger, and it's getting a little bit harder sometimes in my knees. But it's kind of a reminder, like we talked about mirrors. I see them having some arthritis and some issues getting older, and it's a big reminder of myself and kind of how important it is to move. And so my goal and my intention is to do that, to kind of get back out in regular walks, to honor their bodies on what they can do, and to honor my body in that progressing to be able to ride. So
that's so great, though, that you're listening to them. Like they're the ones that are asking for this, and you can say, okay, this is, we're making it our goal. So
exactly.
Everyone gets to participate. It's not just for you.
Yes, exactly. So, and it's like we said, and there's going to be times that, one of my goals is to get back to running. My guys won't be able to do a half marathon or those kind of miles, but still having them out and moving and doing what they can is key. So like, going out with your boyfriend or doing stillness things, your cats can't always go with, but they can help start the process and kind of help with stuff in the inside. So yeah, let the animals in, I think, is the big takeaway message that we want to get through today, is to whether that's as an inspiration or as what you want to do, to help you stay accountable. Let your animals in and think about what you want to do and be that person now. Don't wait till next year or the end of the month to, when I lose 5 pounds, when I'm riding. I'm a horseback rider now. I'm back to being a horseback rider. So, and Denise is a heavily involved yogi meditator.
Yes, I'm a yogi spiritualist. I am.
She's grounded and centered. And if you fall off, that's okay. Celebrate each moment and each try, because guess what? Tomorrow you get to wake up again and try again. One of my favorite books is the Toltec. I think that's how you pronounce it. The Four Agreements, and one of the big agreements is do your best. So each day, just do the best, however that looks like, towards your intention.
Yes, yes. And if you're working on anything, please comment below. Feel free to like and subscribe. That helps encourage us to keep putting videos out, but we would love to hear what you're working on and interact with you. Please let us know.
Yeah, so we can celebrate with you. So yes, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.